Russia's Black Sea Fleet is about to become the Azov Sea Fleet. Recently, Ukraine has frequently launched attacks on the Black Sea Fleet. Not only did they use unmanned boats to attack warships patrolling the Black Sea, cruise missiles are also used. Attack submarines and landing craft undergoing repairs in dockyards, like the Minsk landing ship. And the submarine Rostov-on-Don was completely destroyed. Then this is not over yet. On September 22, Ukraine again uses Storm Shadow missiles. Attack the Black Sea Fleet Command. According to the current news, it is reported that the commander of the Black Sea Fleet, Admiral Sokolov. There are also many army generals and generals. They are also on the injury list. Let's take a closer look at these related events today. After Ukrainian attack on Black Sea Fleet headquarters, Ukraine Intelligence Service Director Budanov releases a video. In this video, Budanov did not say a word. I blew out the 5 candles in front of me in one breath. It's clear that this attack, still planned by Ukrainian intelligence services, and their target is not just the Black Sea Fleet headquarters, but at least 5 important personnel. The earliest news reported on September 22 showed that commander of the Russian Black Sea Fleet, Admiral Viktor Sokolov, was killed. Budanov in an interview with Voice of America. There is no confirmation of the admiral's death, but he also said that in this attack, at least 6 Russian military personnel died. At least 9 people were injured. And the injured list is even more surprising. Among them was Russian General Romanchuk and Russian Lieutenant General Zhukov. Admiral Romanchuk is currently in the Zaporozhye region, Commander-in-Chief of Russian Army. When Ukraine launched its counteroffensive in early June, Russian information publisher, it was General Romanchuk. Ukraine confirmed on September 25. In this attack, killed Russian Admiral Sokolov. At least 34 Russian soldiers were killed at the same time. 105 people injured. Most of the casualties were members of the Russian Black Sea Fleet and senior generals of the southern military region. This directly shows, although Ukraine is attacking the Black Sea Fleet headquarters this time, but its target is not just the Black Sea Fleet, but the whole of Russia. At the highest levels of military operations in southern Ukraine, it's very possible that Ukraine's intelligence services mastered the top brass of the Russian military in advance. Information about the meeting at the Black Sea Fleet headquarters and planned the attack. It can be seen from the scene that thick smoke billows from the Black Sea Fleet headquarters. The second missile flashed across the sky and hit the target accurately. In other words, there are at least 2 Storm Shadow missiles hit the Black Sea Fleet headquarters. The Storm Shadow cruise missile is a subsonic missile. Surprisingly, the headquarters of the Russian Black Sea Fleet is located in Port of Sevastopol. This was originally a place where Russia was heavily guarded. According to this report from Forbes, Russia has deployed at least 5 systems in Crimea. The most advanced S-400 air defense system. In addition, there are countless S-300s. Armor air defense system. S-400. Although Russia claims to be the best in the world, the most powerful air defense system. But a few weeks ago, Ukraine uses Neptune missiles hit located on the Crimean Peninsula. S-400 to the west. Now it seems this Russian S-400 cannot intercept Neptune. It can't intercept the British Storm Shadow missile either. I don't know what it is used for. Since the past month, Ukraine has repeatedly targeted military facilities in Crimea. Launch a long-range strike. August 23, Ukraine uses Neptune precision hit. 1 on the northwest coast of the Crimean Peninsula. S-400 launcher. Immediately following on Thursday of the same week. Hit 36 kilometers south of Yevpatoria. Another S-400. Then both attacks used Neptune. After a year of research and development. Ukraine on anti-ship missile version. Developed latest land attack version. It is capable of carrying a 770-pound warhead. Flying distance up to 225 miles. Ukraine not only uses anti-ship missiles to attack air defense equipment. Cruise missiles are also used to attack warships. It can be said to have created history. Ukraine will use it on September 13. British-supplied Storm Shadow cruise missile. Precisely destroyed the ship docked in the port of Sevastopol. A landing ship and a submarine. According to Russian news. In this attack, Ukraine used 10 missiles. 7 of them were allegedly intercepted. 3 successfully hit the target. 1 hit the submarine and 2 hit the landing ship. Why does Ukraine use Storm Shadow missiles? This is because Storm Shadow has a unique brooch warhead. It is a tandem warhead in itself. When the missile hits the target, the first part of the charge is in the enemy structure. Will blow a hole first. Let the missile warhead pass. And the main explosion will occur inside and below the target. Let's look back at this time. Live footage of a Russian submarine being hit. You can see Kilo-class submarines. It actually has 2 explosion points. The perspective shown in this photo is from the back to the front. So we see there is an explosion point on the right front of the control tower. And in the middle section of the rear of the submarine control tower. There is a huge explosion point. This second explosion point can be seen. The metal shell of the submarine is curled outward. It was obvious that the explosion occurred from within. The reasonable guess is that Storm Shadow missile flying at low altitude hit a Kilo-class submarine at a very small angle. The first stage of the tandem warhead. First open a gap in the front end of the submarine. The second stage warhead exploded directly inside the submarine. Russian submarines usually adopt a double hull design. In other words, a submarine has 2 shells. The material used for the outermost shell is relatively weak, because it itself does not withstand water pressure. The ability to resist beating is relatively weak. The inner shell is often made of high-strength steel plates. It is one of the core processes in the entire submarine manufacturing process. Some friends will have questions. Will this missile? What if it just explodes between the outer shell and the inner shell? Let's take a look at the analysis from the US Navy News website. You can clearly see it from another picture. Not only the hull of the submarine was destroyed. The inner shell was also severely damaged. Then this missile was launched from in front of the escape cabin in front of the control tower. Hit submarine. Then the missile traverses the entire submarine. It runs through the torpedo room and crew lounge respectively. A second explosion occurred near the control room. The explosion went from the inside out, destroying both hulls of the submarine. The only good thing for Russia is that there are no torpedoes in the torpedo room. Because the submarine is undergoing maintenance. If there happens to be a torpedo, we're going to see a pretty spectacular explosion. It is worth noting that behind the Kilo-class control module is the power module. The main blasting point is not in the power cabin. However, the explosion shock wave generated will inevitably spread backward. Damage to Kilo-class submarine's power plant. From this point of view, It can be said that the submarine has no repair value at all. There is no possibility of repair. And another warship that was hit. It's the Minsk Large Landing Ship. This landing ship belongs to the Type 775 landing ship. Entered service in 1983. Full load displacement can reach 4,000 tons. We see it shown in the photo. The warship's bridge gun chimneys were all damaged. Although the damage to the warship was not as severe as shown on the Kilo class. But it has no repair value. As an old warship that has been in service for more than 40 years. With Russia's current repair capabilities. Even its only aircraft carrier, the Admiral Kuznetsov. Still in the shipyard. There is simply no energy or money to repair the Minsk. Very interesting. It was Russia who started the war. And Belarus is also one of the murderers who aided the tyrants. Army attacking Kiev. It started from the territory of Belarus. Results last April. A cruiser named after the Russian capital Moscow. Sunk by Ukraine in the Black Sea. Now named after the capital of Belarus. Minsk landing ship. Also destroyed by Ukraine. Although Ukraine did not reach Minsk. Didn't reach Moscow either. But both Moskva and Minsk will cease to exist. The house leaked and it rained all night. Not only Ukraine wants to attack the Black Sea Fleet. Even the small country Azerbaijan has taken action against Russia. Colonel Ivan Kovgan. He is the deputy commander of the Russian peacekeeping forces in Nagorno-Karabakh. Recently, when he was returning from an observation post on the front line by car, he was shelled by Azerbaijan and killed on the spot. The list of dead includes a total of 1 colonel, 2 lieutenant colonels and 2 captains. No matter who it is now. You can ride on Russia's head and run wild. Russia's response also appeared very weak. Russian presidential spokesman Peskov said, "The other party has already apologized. We saw news that some people there have been removed from their posts and some have been detained. I don't know all the details about this yet. But at least the investigation is ongoing. It can be seen from this incident. Russia's international influence is declining rapidly." On September 19, Azerbaijani army launches armed attack on Nagorno-Karabakh region. And end the battle within 24 hours. Complete control of the Nagorno-Karabakh region. The Nagorno-Karabakh region belongs to Armenia. But it is an enclave in Azerbaijan. This land is inhabited by Armenians. Those decades. Azerbaijan and Armenia are both vying for this territory. Armenia because of its Christian beliefs. Politically closer to Orthodox Russia. Purchased weapons from Russia multiple times. He also hopes that Russia will help him counter Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan is a country of Islamic faith. Supporting it is Turkey. In the 2020 Nagorno-Karabakh war, Armenia was completely defeated. But Russia still had some influence at that time. Sent peacekeeping troops to the Nagorno-Karabakh region to maintain order. However, seeing that Russia is currently the situation on the battlefield in Ukraine, even Azerbaijan can't help but come over. Bullying Russia. Not only did they drive away Russia's little brother Armenia and killed the Russian commander. Russia, known as the world's second largest military, it's already reached this point. I am afraid that neither Putin nor Shoigu. It was unimaginable before the war. Russia is so cowardly. Armenia has repeatedly expressed dissatisfaction. Armenian Prime Minister Paryang. In recent months, it has frequently shown goodwill to the United States. Like Pelosi, Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives, visited Armenia a few months ago. And recently, Major General Anderson, commander of the U.S. 10th Mountain Division, arriving in Armenia with several members of the U.S. military in early September. Joint military training conducted in Armenian capital. This military exercise lasts for 10 days, including 85 American fighters and 175 Armenian fighters. If we say it's a joint exercise, it's better to say it's an American exercise, instructing the Armenians how to fight. Russian influence throughout Transcaucasus weakening every day. Azerbaijan has long been Turkey's sphere of influence. Armenia defected to the United States. And further north, Georgia. We have had conflicts with Russia for a long time. More inclined to join the EU. This Ukrainian war. Russia has no chance of winning. The submarine was blown up in its own dock. The Black Sea Fleet headquarters was attacked. Several lieutenant generals and admirals were killed or wounded. Even the small country of Azerbaijan. You dare to bully Russia? Killed the Russian colonel. The war has progressed to this point. I'm afraid even the Russians themselves don't believe it. Can win the final victory of the war. Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu. During a recent interview, when asked whether Russia could achieve victory, Shoigu just spread his hands helplessly. It can be seen that the top brass of the Russian military have clearly realized that Russia cannot win the final victory in this war. See you in the next episode.